Your Apex code failed, but the error message didn't help. Let's debug it step by step like a real developer. I have a simple Apex class with me which has couple of issues. Let's run it and see what happens. So let's open anonymous window. To open anonymous window, you can just go to debug and then click open execute anonymous window, or you can press Ctrl E. Okay, let me open anonymous window. To run the method, to execute our method, the method which I want to test, I have to take the Apex class name and then dot the method name process accounts, and let me execute it. And to execute it, we have two options here, execute or execute highlighted. Execute will execute all the code you have in your class in this anonymous window, or else if you want to execute a particular line, you can select the line and you can say execute highlighted. Okay, we got an error here, null pointer exception, but this isn't enough. Just to understand the whole code, what exactly happened, where your code got failed, you have to use debug logs. So let's see how we can enable debug logs and how we can read a debug log. First, let's see how to set up a debug log. Just go to setup, go to quick find, search debug. You will get debug logs. Open debug logs. So you have to set up a debug log against a user so that you can get more information, or Salesforce will log more information related to the transaction. So this is my user. I already have a user debug log here. If not, you can just click new. You can search for your user. Select the user whom you want to against whom you want to log the logs, and then you can select the time. So it's by default it's showing half an hour. Yeah, this is fine for me. And then comes debug level. You can just go and check. There will be, you can have a different types of debug levels here. If you see, mine is set to info on every section except for Apex code. Apex code is set to finance. So whatever other topics we have, those will just log the info level of logs. It won't log the deep logs related to workflows or automations happening in that behind the scenes. So, and this is enough for me as of now. Apex code is enough for me. I'm just go and click save. So if you see, debug logs are now enabled for this user from 11:52 p.m. to 12:09 a.m. to 12:39 a.m. Okay, now let's see how we can actually read a debug file. Let's go to developer console and let's execute again. So run again. You can run it from anonymous window, or if you're already calling it from an LWC or some REST API, you just go and run your actual API again. Okay, so now you just refresh it. You will see a debug log generated here. You can just click on view debug log and you can see all the log files here. And there is another way from where you can see this debug log, that is from developer console. You just go to developer console, click on debug, and then you can click show my current uncheck show my current logs only. So if you are enabling debug logs on some other user other than your own user, like for example you are enabling basically you can see all the logs related to your user here, but you have enabled a debug log on a community user. So if you want to see that community user logs in the developer console, you can just go and uncheck the show my current logs only. So you will see all the logs generated in your org for against every user. So you can go open any log whatever you want to read. Okay, so if you see here, if you see here, my code failed with system.NullPointerException attempt to dereference a null object. But if you see, I already have few debugs which got printed. Okay, so with this you can understand. So basically my code is running on a is querying on account. It's querying 5 records on account, and it's checking if account.phone number contains 322, and it's debugging that, it's printing that. Okay, so now let's go to the debug log and see. So if you see, it shows us, it fetched this list of accounts. and account size is 5, so that means it has as expected it fetched the 5 accounts. And then coming below, it is going each for loop. You can see each account is entering the for loop, and you can see which account and what is the ID of that account, what is the phone number of that account. I mean, whatever columns we have queried as part of SQL, all those are printed. If you see one account, two account, three account, four account, fifth account don't have phone number, hence it got failed. System.NullPointerException. If you see this data real time, if I just go and run export the same query, you see this account don't have a phone number. Phone number is blank for this, but we are not checking that null pointer here. Instead of that, we are simply adding reading the account.phone. So to now we got to know that okay, this is failing here in the line number 10, where we are trying to read account.phone, but there is no account.phone. There is phone value is blank for this particular account, particular record. So to fix this, we can simply go and say account.phone not equals to null and account.phone content. So we are saying first check account.phone not equals to null, then only try to read the contents from phone field. Let's try to save this. Now let's go to anonymous window and execute again. If you see, we still got some error, but the error is different, line number 22. So let's go back to our debug logs. Now let's see from anonymous developer console. See, if you see, there is a new debug log which got, and the read status is 100. We opened this one earlier, so and this one error in this is attempt to dereference null object, and the error now we got is something called divided by 0. But let's open the log and check it in depth. Okay. So here we got the information, but you might be thinking the debug log which we see here and the one which we are seeing here looks little bit different. So if you want to see the exact whole raw log, you can simply right click and click on open raw log. So it opens the log just like that debug page which we were seeing earlier, this one. Okay, if you just view it as a regular log, what is the advantage is you can see few actions here. You can simply, if you want to read all the debugs which you have printed in the code, you can just simply click debug only. So you can see all the debugs printed as part of your Apex code. So in this way, it will be easy for you to read a debug log. Okay, so now let's go and see the raw log. If you scroll down and see, yeah, we got the error called math exception, and it is at the line number 22 of our code. So let's go to line number 22. What is it? Yeah, integer result x by y. We are saying 10 by 0, and the error we got is math exception. That means you cannot use 0. Okay, so just to now to fix this code, what we can do is to not run into this exception, we can simply say if y not equals to 0, then only execute my code. So let's save this and try to run the anonymous code again. So now we got another problem. So this is one more way where you can see the debug, or it's like not called debug, but it's a problem which you are getting at the time of writing your code, right? So what's happening here is it's a variable does not exist result. We are trying to print a result variable called result, but it is saying you cannot this is not existing because the integer result which you are initializing, that is inside the if condition, and you are trying to print the variable outside the if condition. So the scope of this is within the if condition, as it is declared within the if condition. So either we have to move this integer result outside, or we have to move the debug log inside that, so that it is within scope. So let's just save this. So these all these things help you at the time of development of the code. So now let's go and execute the code again. Now this time I'll just choose execute. I have clicked execute. Let's just go to logs and see if any new log has came up. Let's execute it again. I don't know why it's taking time. Yeah, we got a new log. If you open this time, let's open it in a raw log. Yeah, method exit. Okay, so method got exited without any error. That means your code has successfully executed without any debugs or errors. Okay, if you just go back to the log and you click debug only, you can see all the expected debug logs which are printed in the code. So this is how you can debug run this is how you can just debug your code. Go to, whenever you see an error, go and enable debug logs against a user, then run again, check the exact line where it is failing, fix step by step. If fix that step, run again. If you get an error again, just go and check at which line you are getting the code and what is the reason for that, and fix that, and then run again until you get the success. This is how you debug a flow. But the thing which we didn't do here is try catch. If you see, my code doesn't contain try catch. So try catch is nothing but, like, if let me implement try catch in my condition, my code here. So let's remove this null pointer logic again, and let's try to execute the code, so that now also we should get the error. Okay, I went here, went to anonymous window and then clicked execute highlighted. This time if you see, I didn't got any error. We were getting one error pop-up earlier, right? We didn't got that error, but we got the log. Let's go and see our log. If you click debug only, if you see, we got this exception, attempt to dereference a null object. So going forward in higher environments, when you cannot go and debug line by line, you don't want the code to break. Even though there is some issue in the code, you don't want the code to break, so that what you do is you try to catch the exceptions before. So what you do is you put your whole code in try catch, or you can put an individual segment or a set of code, like you can put this part, only this part in try catch, or you can put the whole code in try catch. That is up to you. So you put code in try catch, so that nothing but, like, basically try is something which runs your code, catch is something which catches your exception and logs it. So this helps you in logging the exceptions or logging the errors in a very easy way, and it will be helpful for you in the long run to debug the code. Because in higher environments you might not have access to the developer console, you might not have access to the code itself. So if you log it properly through this logging mechanisms, you can just enable logs for that user. You can log the error and you can understand, okay, this is where it's failing and this is what I have to fix. This is the changes which I have to do in my lower environment and push it to higher environment to fix this. So let's run it again, run through it again. So if you want to, so whenever your apex fails, enable debug logs, run again, check exact line, fix step by step, save this. You'll definitely need it during the real projects. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.